Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing about this current Bitcoin situation. We are stuck in the middle of the range and we need to understand whether we're going to continue to go higher to a new all-time high or are we going to see a correction. Of course, if you're new to the channel, guys, please subscribe, hit the like button. We post one video about crypto trading every single day. This video is brought to you by our partner, the best non-KYC exchange, Blofin, which I'm a proud member. I trade all the time with this exchange, guys. Very fast, good execution. If you want to join, there is the last day, one more person to get the $3,000 futures bonus if you deposit around $30,000 or 10% cash back if you deposit less. Now let's go into BTC, guys. You can see the situation right now. Yesterday, Bitcoin was at around 104,400 and he had a major drop. Like he went basically down from 104,000, actually 800, down to 101,200. And of course, guys, as always, I was already, as you can see here, in our VIP group. I wrote everything here. If you're going to see some data, we're going to be bullish or bearish. I'm going to explain to you more. But basically, I said that I was already, let me just show you the date, 15th of May, so you understand, PS, as I wrote yesterday, I'm already in short since 104,000. So if you're like me, you should be in profit already. So basically, we're already able to anticipate this correction. I was thinking more we were going down to 98 to $99,000, but we went to 101, had a beautiful rebound, and we're happy. But of course, guys, the results, as always, talk for themselves. You can see our members making very good profits as always, guys. If you haven't done so, if you really want to start to elevate your trading game, we were one of the few that we basically were able to understand this drop with Bitcoin. You can really check everywhere you want. So if you haven't done so, guys, you want training ideas every single day, you want education, analysis, spot trading, anything, come on the VIP group. There's a link in the description and start to really trade like a professional. Right now, what is the current situation with Bitcoin? The reason why we pumped yesterday, guys, is because of good economical data. As I was saying, my members yesterday in the Bitcoin analysis, if we're going to have a low PPI, everything written here, guys, you can see if PPI is going to be better than expected, we're going to drop. If it's going to come lower than expected, which happened, then of course we're going to pump. Jobless claims the same. So basically, we had some weak data suggesting that the economy is weakening, suggesting that the Fed might cut interest rates, and Bitcoin, of course, pumped as a consequence. But everybody now is asking, where are we going to go next? So looking at the situation, guys, what you have to be very, very careful right now is that do not rush into trades, okay? This is something I will tell my VIP group already, and I'm going to give you today very good information. Just take them well. Always not financial advice, but to just teach you a little bit about risk management. Right now, what's happening is that we are basically in a level where you got liquidations coming in this area and in this area. Nobody can deny here that we are into a channel. Bitcoin is following this beautiful channel here. Okay, you can see the RSI also pointing downwards. You can see the channel. So if you're considering, let's say, whether to go long or short or do whatever you want, don't do it right now that we are in the middle. Okay. So you can see, for example, here, I'm going to go into the liquidation heat map. Let me see if I can go and put it a little bit more central so you can see better from here. You can see, like, right now here with the liquidation heat map that you got many orders sitting, like many liquidations. So lots of people shorting around, even up to 108,000. So in between, let's say 106 to 108. And also you have lots of liquidation down to 99 to 100,000. So my advice, and this is actually is an advice, don't be stupid to go and be like, oh, I'm thinking BTC is going to go now and break all-time high because my taxi driver told me so. You cannot know that, because market makers, they can do whatever they want. They can push the price higher and they can push the price lower. As I always said to my VIP guys, wait for the extremes to come and then you can make a more sound decision and then you can make money. The rule number one of this game, guys, is to make money, is to do not lose money, is to save your money, to preserve your capital. It's not to make millions of dollars. Of course you can make that, but at the same time, the key point here is preservation of capital and really crazy risk management. Now, looking at BTC, that's what I can see right now. First scenario, which I could be thinking right now, that we are basically arranging in between these lines here, in between like 106 to 100, and Bitcoin is probably going to come to a resolution around the 18th of May. So in the next maybe 2 or 3 days, we're going to see what's going to be happening here. Are we going to go and continue to go like that, or something is going to change? Number two, yesterday I was talking about a diamond pattern, like a diamond top pattern, which he played out like that, okay? But instead of breaking down to my desired target of around 98 to 99, had a rebound. So right now, what we have to have a look at is, okay, is this actually has a change? Is this forming a potential bull flag, like a downward channel from here? This is also quite likely. So you need to understand that at this point here, if we are going to be able to break this area and then to continue to go higher, that's fantastic. I will be considering opening some short positions around probably 108, 109, around these areas. But if it's going to then have a rejection from this point here, what is going to be happening? Do you know what levels you're going to buy? You're going to go long, you're going to go short? Because, guys, the VIP knows very well. Everything is written here. We already know about Ethereum, about Solana, our exact entry points. When are we going to go and pull the trigger? Okay, because it's complicated. And also remember that you are into a channel here. Okay, so if BTC in the next few days is not going to be able to go above 106,000, okay, so it's not going to be able to go above this area like that. Okay, we could be going down. We could be going down. We could be dropping to, I don't know, here. This one doesn't hold. We again go here, then we go here. Okay, it's not given the fact that now the market is looking crazy bullish, but at the same time, be very careful. Okay, it's even a case of seeing like a channel coming from here, and then it connected to this point here. So theoretically, what it could be happening, BTC could be falling down here around 95, 96. But again, we have so many tools we utilize in the VIP that can help us to understand where we are. Also, what I'm also experiencing right now is that BTC is into a potential compression stage. You can see if I connect these points here with the RSI and then I put this on in this area, is giving me like what we call a compression stage of the RSI. So what I'm basically looking at right now, we're basically bouncing in between these two lines. We're bouncing in between this and this and this. Once we're going to be able to break this area or this area, then I can see a more sustained movement. But at the same time, what I don't like, and I'm telling you so many times, so don't tell me after, oh, you didn't tell me, is that at this point here, okay, so we got a very important level of resistance here. Bitcoin is going too fast. And whenever it goes too fast, usually whatever you see this crazy big impulse is like taking an elastic band and then pulling the rubber band and then let it go. And then what it does, the opposite happens. So I'm really scared that if we're gonna see another big push like a spike up like that, then there is a risk it's gonna drop down very strongly. So what I would like to see right now would be to see like a more, I will say, sustained trend, like a healthy trend that is going to be a potential range around this area with BTC and then have a nice explosion like that. That would be fantastic, just to reset all the technical indicators and then to tell us, okay, now we are ready to take off. So for Bitcoin, guys, that's about it. I don't see anything else to talk about today. A little bit boring, a little bit sideways. My bias is still for more downside to come. Okay, I'm not very convinced about. Maybe we could be seeing like a liquidity sweep to try to go up here, maybe 106, 107, try to take some money here, and then probably is going to go down. That's is my, I would say, my idea. What I think it could be happening. And again, guys, no financial advice, but that's what I could be seeing happening right now with BTC. Now, next one I want to have a look as well, guys. It's important. Ethereum. Let me go and cancel from this point. So very similar to Bitcoin. Looking at the RSI trending downwards, the price is still going higher. To me, Ethereum looks a little bit tired. Okay, so we have a massive resistance at this area around 209, 208, 2,800, sorry, 2,900. we have a massive resistance here. So if we're not going to be able to go above this area soon enough, I probably believe that maybe similar to Bitcoin, we could be seeing like a liquidity sweep up to here, but I'm probably going to be a shorter around this area. Could be expecting more of a pullback with ETH has been pumping like there is no tomorrow, and a nice correction to the downside, maybe down to 2,300, 1,200, is probably going to be more healthy to see then, of course, rise later on. So maybe I could be seeing something like this. I'm sorry to destroy everybody's dream and to be the, the negative person right now in the room. I know that lots of people are telling me right now, oh, but we're gonna go now to the moon because this is happening and that is happening, and the tariffs and all the bullshit. Well, it could be happening. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, to me, looks more that we could be seeing like a retest down to here 2,200, 2,300, then form a potential inverted head and shoulder like that, and then have a proper movement, which could bring us maybe back to 3,800, 3,400. But remember, as I said before, huge resistance in that area. We can even also observe, if you want to, we can have a look at what's happening with the what's it called, with the volume footprint. Let's have a look at volume footprint and see what's going on right now, and we can analyze from here. Are people actually here? Are they buying? Are they selling? What's going on from here? Okay, so we had a beautiful impulse, from the daily at on the 13th of May, and then we are having red and red and a little bit of green right now. So to me, this is already telling me that I don't know how much Ethereum can push more than this. Okay, so I could be totally wrong. We are still above, this line here. We are holding up very, very well. We can also observe sometimes, it can be helpful to have a look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart is basically fighting a very important level of resistance. Although numbers are quite impressive here, you can see this huge positive delta at 330,000 positive, right, with a 6.30 million volume. That's massive. And then you can see that we're basically trying to break now this resistance. So if you're going to be able to close above this line, above, let's say, 2,800, then it's going to be very positive for Ethereum to then continue to go higher. But at the same time, if we can close above there, it's probably more likely we're going to see a retest down to this line here, to this 200 week moving average, and then we're going to go higher. That's what I could be seeing. So personally, I sold around 60% of the coins I bought on the 11th of April. Made very, very good money. So happy with that. And I'm probably planning to rebuy if we're going to go and retest these lower areas. That's what I can see. Solana as well, guys. Solana looks, to be honest, a little bit better than Ethereum. You can see that we basically broke that level of support. Solana, guys, I didn't even know what to tell you here, so just like doing some scribbles about going down, and the channel as well always work fantastically well. So Solana again, very similar to what's happening right now with Ethereum. We're probably gonna see. I could be expecting a little bit of a pullback. I don't think it's gonna be a crazy pullback to go to the downside and basically destroy the whole structure, but maybe something like down to maybe 160, 155, 160, something like that, and then have it again another retest and go again. It's probably going to be more likely than see a continuation to the upside. We can go and cancel here. I can go also on the 4-hour chart and show you what's happening right now. Very similar to, like, all of them that have a very similar presentation, like these channels, upward channels, which are following very, very well. So you can see the lower bound of the channel corresponding to the 200 moving average of the 4 hours. And again, is this like a potential double top formation going down to here at 156, 157 to then, of course, have a big bump? And that will be making sense. You can see there is a retest of this inverted head and shoulder. You can see the head and shoulder inverted 1 and 2 and then 3, and then retest and then up again to finish this one. they could be basically making sense a lot. Next one I want to have a look, guys. Bitcoin dominance. So very important here to determine is, about alt season. Has alt season started? Has it commenced? Are we ready to see altcoins to go to the moon, to the stratosphere, to Walhalla? That's how they call it as well. Um, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm still in the camp that Bitcoin dominance hasn't topped. We still got one more um, push to go to the upside. Although what we could be seeing from here is going to be a potential. You can see that right now, Bitcoin dominance, we drop like crazy. We are now retesting here. We are getting rejected from the 20 and the 50 moving average, and probably to complete this scenarios that we're going to see another drop down to here around 60%. Okay. And then you're going to probably be seeing altcoins to outperform BTC. And then maybe we're going to be seeing a push up to, let's say, 68% to 70% to basically finish um, the whole thing with the Bitcoin dominance. And then after that, of course, altcoins should be going crazy. Just to give you an idea, so you can see that we are now into level of support here. Then you go resistance. Like I can tell you that, for example, with channels work very very well when it comes to trading. Usually we can put channels together and they work fantastic. So what I will say from this point here is that once I see the Bitcoin dominance breaking around the 59%, so around here, that's when I can see that altcoins are going to go ballistic. And the levels I'm looking at, which I'm basically interested, and I want to see what's going to be happening from there. Let me just go and cancel everything so you can see better. First level is going to be 54, 53%. Next level is going to be to 48. And what you can do as well, you can go with the Fibonacci retracement, check it from here, and you can see all the levels. So the golden pocket area of Fibonacci, which is a very interesting tool to utilize because it really corresponds to this previous level of support. And I would say that data showing us that we're going to probably go down to the 48%. And if Bitcoin is going to be already, let's say, at 120,000, 125,000, and we're going to see the Bitcoin dominant chart dropping that much, can you imagine what's going to be happening to altcoins? Well, I think they're going to really perform extremely well. So very, very excited. Something else I want to show you today, which is I think is important as well, is to have a look at the pair with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't know when I actually drew this chart here, but it's been a long time ago. But I was basically talking about the possibility that what could be happening to Ethereum when BTC is going to go to 120K. Well, looking at this, you can see that we basically are into how to say, in a downtrend, almost like a downtrend, like a triangle. And what I think is going to be quite likely, like it happened here in 2022-23, is that Ethereum might go and retest this important level of diagonal resistance. So it's going to be the 200-day moving average. I don't think we're going to be able to break it. Okay, so people asking me, oh, are we going to see I don't know, like going back to the, let's say, 0.618 Fibonacci, 0.10. So Ethereum is going to be at $12,000. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But what I'm actually more, I would say, is going to be more likely is going to be ETH to go and have a bearish retest of this area. So you can see if I connected this, this point here to this point, to this point, it basically gives me this retest around here, which is 0.46. So taking this one into numbers, right? If the pair with Bitcoin to Ethereum relative to also Ethereum in relation to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is going to be around $120,000, and we're going to go to the 0.04, 0.07, sorry, 0.047. It means that Ethereum should be around the $5,500 to $6,000 mark. Okay, I got like my target is a little bit higher for this end of the cycle around 7,500. But I would say that to be conservative with the price of Bitcoin going to 120K, you should be seeing BTC to be around 5.5 to 6,000. But if Bitcoin is going to go as per my prediction to my latest target of this bull market at $135,000, then we're going to have a pair from here. It will definitely correspond to ETH around probably 7,000. So that's what I can see right now. Just let me know in the comments what you think about this. Next one, guys, I want to show you total free market cap. Very important chart. As I told you before, let's see what's going on right now here. If you follow my videos, I told you that we could have gone and have a retracement of the Fibonacci retracement at the 0.618 or 972 billions. We almost went there. We had a little bit of a rejection. That's why I'm saying maybe we could be seeing one more pump, before having a correction. And what I would like to be see from here, you can see that we had. I'm going to go on the daily to show you a little bit better the situation right now. So you can see that we had a inverted head and shoulder from here. We pump up, now we're going down. But if I actually have a look at this structure from here, and I'm going to go and give you like an invert scale so you can see a little bit better. What I will say from here is that this chart is probably going to show me almost a potential head and shoulder pattern. So you can see a shoulder here, it goes up like that, and then another shoulder here. We can call this one a head and shoulder or even a complex head and shoulder. And of course, it's going to play out. Then what we can be seeing is going to be from here to the neckline to this one. And I'm going to go bring it back again to inverse scale. But let's say this is going to happen. We're going to see total free doing something like that, okay? Going up here, then doing something like that, okay? And then have the last push to the upside. Then what you do, you calculate from the head to the shoulder, you bring it from here, and it gives you around $1.69, okay? Which is quite funny that if you then calculate this inverted head and shoulder, brings you a very similar target. So 1.6, 1.7 with the, what's it called? The total free market cap is quite feasible to come. And when is it going to come? August, September, something like that, as per this analysis. Now, three other things I would like to talk about today, which I think is going to be super important. Number one, guys, is the US 10-year Treasury yield. This one is a very important chart. People are undermining the importance of this. So, as I'm going to say, I don't know how many times I said that, but this one, guys, this one has to come down. If this one doesn't come down, the Fed is not going to cut interest rates. Simple as that. The Fed doesn't cut interest rates, the market, yes, can go a little bit higher, but not that higher. We need this bloody, at least we need the vote of the Fed to introduce some rate cuts. And then, of course, we're going to go higher. But right now, even we're having very weak economic data, this one is not going down. And really, I want to see a breakdown from here, a proper head and shoulder from here. I don't want to see something like that. Because if this happens, I'm not going to be very happy, I can tell you, with crypto and risk assets. And then don't come and cry to me saying, oh, but you didn't tell me that this was about to happen. Be very careful right now. We are in the middle compression stage. Anything can happen, but it's important to really keep your mind always to be very objective. Don't think about the moon boys telling you Lambo time. Don't think about the perma bears telling you, oh, it's over. Bigger recession in our lifetime. Be objective and just calculate everything from here. Next one I want to show you, very important, sorry, before the S&P 500 is the DXY. DXY as well, we had a rejection from this point here. Looks like it wants to go a little bit lower. So what are we going to see? We're going to see a continuation to the downside or another pump from here to 102, 103, and then dump again. In this case here, we're going to see a pump up to this area. Then, of course, risk assets are going to be a little bit in trouble. We could be seeing a more sustained correction with Bitcoin in the stock market. But then if we're going to go up to this level, we're going to have a rejection. Then the next point should be down to here around 95 to 96. I want to show you also the way I used to calculate, this beautiful DXY. Again, I'm a fan of channels. Always like to draw the channels, but even from this point here, looks like we are very close to an end. If you actually watch my X account, Twitter account, I've been talking about this for such a long time, and it looks like we are very close to the bottom for the DXY, in my opinion. And when it's gonna be coming, we can get these lines here, bring it this way. So August, September. Okay, so that's why I'm saying DXY could be bottoming around here. August, September, we could be see Bitcoin going to maybe 135, 130K. Altcoins are gonna go and respond and pump as a consequence. So I'm really keeping an eye on that date. So in the next maybe 4 or 5 months to say, okay, this probably could be the end of the bull market, but so many things to consider. And again, guys, with the VIP, I'm gonna tell my members exactly when I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna sell and all of that. So guidance is always the most important thing. And the last one, guys, is the S&P 500. I don't even know what to say with this chart. Like it's insane. Like this hammer here, completely crazy. Is the S&P 500 about to place a blow off top? The answer is we are very extended right now. So what I would like to see with the S&P, I mean, somebody tells me that it looks bearish, I'll slap him in the face. Come on, Ray. But at the same time, we have to be careful. Like, what is going to be happening now? Why we still haven't had a wave 2 out of 5? So, what usually happens is that you see, for example, a impulse, then a correction, then an impulse. But even from here, right, what we can actually see is that we had a big pump here, a retracement, huge pump, and then maybe a retracement, okay, and then another pump to here. So if I put this on in relative terms, is this already the wave 3 out of 5? Let me be more explanatory. If I'm going to go here and take my Elliott waves usually they calculate into impulse waves from 1 to 5. So you start with a wave 1, then you have a 2 as a correction, wave 3, 4 as a correction, and then you have 5. So are we now putting a wave number 5 going to, let's say, perhaps 6,600 or something like that in conjunction with this level of resistance? We don't know that. What we can do as well, we can do the open liquidity heat map. I don't know if you guys have used this indicator before, but to me, I think it's fantastic by Big Beluga. It's also free. And that's what actually is making me a little bit concerned about this. Not concerned, sorry, but is making me curious, to see if this is going to be the top of this bull markets with the S&P going to 6,400, 600, taking all this liquidity here, and then it's going to go down again. So that's going to be my expectation. And again, when is it going to come? Maybe July, August, something like that. The S&P could be putting a top, and then from there we can see like a big a B, and a C, and then see you later. But what we're going to do after? Buy again in the bear market and make more money. But otherwise, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope it helped you a little bit to understand how professional traders work. But at the same time, as I said before, come on the VIP, guys. The VIP is the place to be because we're a community of traders. We work very well. We also do charts on request, spot trading, investing, anything you can think of. But otherwise, I really hope you're going to have a great weekend. Let's see what's going to be happening with BTC right now. Are we going to go and break all-time high or no? And I'm going to see you tomorrow for another video. Take care and see you soon.